WBC knew I was gonna win. They pre-made the belt for me, man. They pre-made the belt for me. Can't wait. I love y'all.
So, as you all seen here, Shawn Porter would have to literally knock Errol Spence Jr. out to get a victory this past weekend. They already had it set in their mind who was going to win and who they wanted to win. Shawn Porter would have literally had to stop Errol Spence to get that victory. He put up a performance of a lifetime too. It sucks, but that's just the politics of boxing. Now normally the champion, the new champion, gives the old champion his belt back, and then the new champion gets his belt in the mail. But they already had Errol Spence's belt made, so there goes that. But I've been sitting back, letting things play out, letting everybody get their excuses out, letting the damage control run its course. And it's been a lot of bullshit going on in the boxing community in regards to Errol Spence Jr. and his fans. But to me, I'm not surprised. It's all too familiar to me. It's the same thing Anthony Joshua, his fans, was doing to Deontay Wilder. It's the same thing. It's the same thing Anthony Joshua and his fans was doing to Deontay Wilder, and Errol Spence Jr. and his fans is doing it to Terrence Crawford. It's the same thing. They're using the business as a ploy or as a barricade to prevent the fight. They're using his lack of notoriety as a excuse to prevent the fight, even though Terrence Crawford is universally recognized as the number 1, number 2 pound for pound boxer in the world. So I don't understand that, but we know what type of time they own. It's also some familiar how they pushed off Dillian White on Wilder. Y'all remember that? They're like, yeah, fight Dillian White first. No, we want Wilder AJ. Well, now the Errol Spence fans is pushing off Shawn Porter on Terrence Crawford. Like, no, we want the Terrence Crawford Errol Spence fight. It's the same thing. Oh, give me $50 million up front and I'll fight you. Okay, I got the $50 million. What's up? Oh, well, psych. I'm trying to fight at home with my people and I had to fight my mandatory. See ya. Same thing as beat Jeff Horn, go get a belt, and I'll fight you. Okay, I beat Jeff Horn, got a belt. What's good? Well, Shawn Porter got a belt. Why wouldn't I take the easy route? It's the same thing, y'all. Okay? It's just that boxing nowadays, you get used to it. A lot of these fans, these so-called boxing fans, are really fanagers and business fans. They don't really care about the best fighting the best. If it goes against their narrative they've been pushing, they're not with it. If a fighter like Terrence Crawford don't give him interviews, a lot of these bigger boxing channels, they be having interviews and shit. And Terrence Crawford, he don't really give interviews to these guys. And so they feel some type of way about him. That's what that is. Terrence Crawford don't give him interviews, and that's why. Bunch of fake ass dudes, man. Bunch of phony ass motherfuckers. Fanboys. A lot of them dudes are Errol Spence fans too. So Crawford probably don't even want to be dealing with that shit, but it is what it is, man. Let's talk about the X's and O's though. That's what we're here to talk about today, because Errol Spence showed us a lot in his fight with Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter put up a great performance. Shawn Porter came out like a dog. Shawn Porter reminds me of a Clay Guida. For those of you who know who Clay Guida is, you know what I'm talking about. Just an animal. Non-stop pressure. Not the biggest puncher or nothing, but just work rated. He's just outworked the shut of guys. Errol Spence was in for the fight of his life. That was supposed to be the easy route. That was supposed to be the guy that was an in-shape street fighter. That was supposed to be the guy that fought like he was drowning. Well, why didn't you beat this guy? I thought he didn't have no skill. Come on, man. Dudes was running with that shit too prior to the fight. Shawn Porter wasn't shit. He couldn't sell a family diner. He wasn't this, he wasn't that. Now all of a sudden Shawn Porter could beat Terrence Crawford. Shawn Porter is the, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Y'all should have been known Shawn Porter was the dog. Y'all so busy with Errol Spence dick in your mouth that you over here downplaying Shawn Porter now. You downplaying Terrence Crawford. Where did all this come from? You see what these dudes do on behalf of one fighter? You see what they did to Keith Thurman. The shit that Keith Thurman is doing is similar to what Errol Spence is doing as well. But the difference there, Keith Thurman was a champion. Errol Spence was a prospect. Terrence Crawford is a proven fighter, a champion, one of the best. There's a huge difference there. Keith Thurman had I guess you could say he had a legitimate reason to make Errol Spence, wait Errol Spence out. He was a proven guy. He was a champion. He had 2 belts and shit. Errol Spence was just a 15-0 prospect. So there's the difference there. But yeah, back to the X's and O's. Errol Spence Jr. showed us a lot in this fight. He showed us that he can't really transition from offense to defense well. He showed us that he's really not the fastest fighter. He's pretty stiff, honestly. He's pretty stiff. I think a fast, slick, fleet-footed guy like Crawford will give him a lot of trouble. Tons of trouble. A dynamic guy like Crawford gives Errol Spence all the problems in the world. Errol Spence, it's pretty one-dimensional. It's just me being honest. I'm not sitting here and trying to hate him. He's just one-dimensional. I didn't really see him make any adjustments to really separate him from Shawn Porter in that fight. Shawn Porter was on his ass like white on rice the whole fight. And he didn't do anything. No proper adjustment was made to where he was really clearly winning those rounds. I think there was 2 rounds where Shawn Porter clearly won. Of course, Errol Spence won a round where he got the knockdown on the flash knockdown on Porter. But there was 2 rounds where Shawn Porter clearly won those rounds. I think it was 4 and 7. But in those rounds where he couldn't really make adjustments, he was slapping the shot at Shawn Porter's balls. A lot of those shots was low, dude, and they wasn't calling it. They wanted Errol Spence to win that fight, man. Shawn Porter was fighting an uphill battle. But, a lot of fans know what they saw. A lot of people feel that Shawn Porter won. A lot of people feel the fight should have been a draw, if anything. And Errol Spence showed that he got a lot of work to do. He got a lot of work to do. Just say that. Like, yeah, Errol Spence my guy. But if he wants to be the guy like Crawford, he gonna have to really improve. He gonna have to level up. He can't be sitting here sparring Charlos all the time. Sparring the same dudes. You gotta level up, bro. You gotta move around. You see Terrence Crawford sparring different guys all the time. Going to Gleason's gym, sparring all these dudes. Back to back, different guys coming in the ring. You see Terrence Crawford always in the gym, always in shape. Errol Spence be eating Flamin' Hassan. You hear rumors of him drinking and doing all kinds of other shit. He blowing up in between fights. Come on, bro. You gotta take this shit for real. Terrence Crawford is not to be fucked with. A lot of these dudes are downplaying Bud because he's signed with Bob Arum. Terrence Crawford is always going to be the guy that's going to take the high road. He's pretty soft-spoken for the most part. So people's going to kind of try to overlook Terrence Crawford, but we're not going to let that happen. I'm not going to let that happen. Y'all not about to sit here all of a sudden and just start downplaying Terrence Crawford like he ain't shit on behalf of Errol Spence Jr., just like y'all did to Keith Thurman. Y'all tore Keith Thurman down on behalf of Errol Spence Jr. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is in boxing today. You got dudes like Barbershop Conversation, dudes with a huge voice on this YouTube boxing shit. And I really wish my channel was bigger, man. But I'll get there. But these dudes, he had the nerve to post some shit saying that Errol Spence's win over Shawn Porter exposes Terrence Crawford. Does Shawn Porter beat Bud? Yes or no? Like, what? What does that even mean? What you mean that? How did Errol Spence close ass win warrants him Shawn Porter beating Bud? That wasn't even a discussion. Now all of a sudden Shawn Porter could beat Terrence Crawford all of a sudden just because Errol Spence didn't look as good as they thought he was gonna look. Styles makes fights, bro, and Terrence Crawford showed us that he could adjust to a lot of different styles. He showed us that he could fight a lot of different body types. He showed us that he can move up in weight and still stop guys. Whether you feel his competition at 147 was adequate or not. Jeff Horn beat Manny Pacquiao. Amir Khan was a silver medalist who normally outboxes guys. He got caught by Canelo, but he was thoroughly outboxing Canelo for 6 rounds or 5 rounds until he got caught. Terrence Crawford dominated Amir Khan. Keith Thurman told Bud he should fight Amir Khan or somebody. He goes off and does that. Sorry about that. He goes off and does that, and then they downplay that win. So no matter what Terrence Crawford do, they're going to downplay his victories, and that's just what it is at this point. Now we're back at square one to the Bob Arum shit, and I thought the fight was taking off, getting some traction, but now we're back to square one. Errol Spence is looking to fight Danny Garcia. I think that fight was already made behind the scenes. And I think they're doing whatever it takes to keep Terrence Crawford frozen out. Now Errol Spence ain't thinking about Terrence Crawford. And until that time comes, it's the same thing as AJ saying, I'm not going to fight Wilder until I'm in a position to win. But tell me what you guys think, man. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.